Hi, and welcome to another episode of Christian Capitalism, brought to you by Todd's Help, things that have helped Todd for the last 30-something years to get me where I wanted to be in life. And today, I want to talk to you, as always, God, motivation, and money. But it's going to be a continuation of my previous episode. I brought out to you the Todd's 10 to Win, the system that I use to hold myself accountable. And I went over that whole list of 10 things that I try to repetitively do on a regular basis. Today we're going to talk about the first three, and I want to go a little bit in depth into that with you and explain how I see them, and then you can design your own model based off of this. Number one is to begin your day and end your day, that is, with prayer. Prayer is important, but what is prayer? Prayer is communicating with God in one way, shape, or form. It's not thinking alone. That's how I see it. A man can think alone, but when he thinks alongside with God and he's having that conversation, then it's reminding him and putting him in the mindset that he is not created to be alone, that he is connected to God, who in his own DNA gave that man a mission. And if you stay mission oriented, prayer is about reconnecting to the source. In a sense, a battery has to be plugged in to be recharged. And if a battery gets away from the connection for too long, it dies. It has no power, no substantial power. So the only everlasting life we're going to have is to stay eternally plugged in. That's what prayer is. Prayer to me is having a dialogue with God. You know, of course I have my system. I like to pray the rosary and the Our Father and so forth. But conversations about your plans, no matter what they are, no matter how big, no matter how small, God is interested and wants to be involved in what you're doing. He can chew gum and walk at the same time, so don't ever think that what you're praying for is too small. That's something my kids and I always talk about. No, every little thing, He can do it all. He's infinite. So prayer is that begin your day with prayer. Bring Him into your plans. Have a system for how you pray. And it may change over time and develop it, but I cannot tell you how important that one is, okay? The second one is family. Family is the beginning of all goodness. Everything that's good in the world starts with a family. If we have a good government, it's because we have good, strong families. And that's some of the problems we're having today. Everything that we learned in the family to carry forward to the next generation is what's important. The time that you spend, you cannot replace time spent with family. We talk about quality time, but you've got to spend enough time. Don't ever forget that. So the first thing I'll tell people to do is on your calendar every year, plan the time you will be with family before you plan other things. I realize with work schedules, sometimes there's things you have to do. I get that. But as much as you possibly can, put the times down you'll be on vacation, the times you'll be in ball games, the times you're just going to go fishing with your kid. You know, take the time to spend time with them. Plan, for example, I know when my kids were growing up, we had not perfectly, but we had a time at night when we'd eat and we'd share our best stories of the day and our worst stories of the day, and we laughed a lot. There's a lot that goes on with that, but those kids remember that. And although we didn't do it perfectly, we tried to do it on a regular basis to have that family time, and I'll suggest that strongly. So plan your family. Number three, and that's all we're going to talk about, is those three today. And this is very important when it comes to the finance and the money part of God, motivation, and money. Is when you make $1, you should have a system, an automatic, that takes a portion of that dollar and it puts it aside for a rainy day, automatically. It should be anywhere from 10 to 20%. Now, ultimately, it'll get sophisticated in where it goes. But the savings account, the most important thing you will do is to pay yourself first. Before you pay a bill, before you do anything, you have that system. You get a raise, make sure that the portion of savings goes automatically into it. That is the most important financial concept I have ever learned. Sounds crazy, huh? But I'm telling you, it is the beginning of everything constructive. You can't invest until you save. Okay? Those three. So, in summary, pray every day, beginning and ending your day with prayer. Plan your family time and focus on the family. And third is pay yourself first. We're going to talk about it in the subsequent meetings, the others. We're going to go through the rest of the Todd's 10 to Win, and I hope that this is something that helps you. Reach out, subscribe, do all the things we need to do. And remember, Phil 4:13. Uncle Phil always says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless. See you soon.